it's Monica from Honeybee Designs here. I'm excited to take you behind the scenes of our newest Amsterdam flower market special. So I actually got the idea for this flower market poster or wall art from just scrolling through Pinterest. And if you're wanting to purchase your own version of this design, you can go to my shop at honeybeedesigns.com and you can order your own with your dog or pet in the middle. So I went through a couple iterations of how I was gonna incorporate the flowers. Like I started with this, big tulip heart, and then I realized that the perspective didn't work. So I reworked it, did the kind of rough draft here of how the tulips were going to be arranged and the background and the design of the dog in the middle. And of course this dog can change, it's customizable to your pet, so you can have your pet here in the middle. But anyways, yeah, once I kind of had figured out the general idea of the design, how I wanted everything to be placed, I started putting in our tulips here that I created originally. And I originally wanted to have cherry blossoms, but later decided to kind of make it two separate designs. But here I am adding in the details of the leaves, and I knew that I wanted the dog to be holding like the tulip in its mouth. I thought that would be really cute. Also thought this position of its little paws up would be really cute. I should also say we are currently having an Easter photo contest going on right now in my stories at Honeybee Designs on Instagram. If you want to, you can go and vote there for a winner, and the winner is actually going to win one of these flower market specials with their face in the middle. So yeah, I am going through and just adding the background details, grass, putting in the details of the flowers, making sure that they all kind of stand out and don't just blend into the background. And yeah, I worked so hard on all these cherry blossoms in the background, but I didn't actually end up using them in the final design. But yeah, here I am adding in different elements. I tried putting in a rainbow, but that didn't quite feel right. And I tried to work and rework these cherry blossoms up here in the front too, but yeah, I wasn't sure how it was, like if it was detracting from the tulips, because they were covering up like a lot of the tulips. But yeah, I liked this idea of having the cute little birds in there, which I eventually took out anyways as well. But yeah, I kind of played with it quite a bit to figure out what position I wanted the dog here to be into. Finally decided it'd be cute if it was like in a little handbag here. And so now kind of getting to the final stages, had to add in a little hat as well, and the details of the eyes and face were a bit tricky. I wanted to kind of strike a balance between cartoon and realistic, but here I'm adding details to the hat, putting some shading to make it look a little more realistic and a little more just filled out, and filling out the dog's face as well with details to the fur, putting in some shading as well to make it look a little more realistic. And yeah, I really I had a hard time figuring out the coloring for this dog for whatever reason, but yeah, I finally got there eventually with figuring out the shading, and having the sun there kind of reminds me of where the shading needs to go. Which parts of the dog's face need to be lighter and which places need to be darker. But yeah, here I am finally getting some of the shading right here, with the darker parts being on the opposite side of the sun shining on it. And of course the tulip in its mouth was a fun little addition. So yeah, I tweaked and played with the face of the dog quite a bit. So let me know if you like this original face here, or if you like what it ended up being, just kind of a little more simplistic look. But yeah, here I am finally deciding that I want it to just be tulip fields rather than cherry blossoms. So this is what I ended up with. And I know that Amsterdam is famous for its tulip season, and so I eventually decided to make this just about tulips so that we could have the focus on Amsterdam. So here I am adding more shading in a different style, just to make it look a little more blended in. And this happens quite a lot, especially when I'm drawing in the cartoon style. I kind of go back and forth between if I want it to be a softer look, like what mediums I want to be using. Like this is a little more of a soft, I think this is, this might be, it's not gouache. I think this is a wet acrylic that I'm using right now. and so I wanted to achieve a little bit of a softer look, so that's what I'm doing here. And I've always wanted to go to the Netherlands, but just drawing this made me want to go even more. Like if you just Google tulip flowers in Amsterdam, you get so many cool photos. And I just looked it up because I was curious, but apparently the tulip fields are in bloom from mid-April till early May. And I don't know if you guys have ever been. If you have, let me know how it was in the comments because I really want to go. The place that's most famous for their tulips is Keukenhof. I'm probably mispronouncing, but Keukenhof Tulip Gardens. It says it's 40 kilometers from the center of Amsterdam, an area called Bollenstreek. I don't know. If you've been there before, let me know in the comments. I really, really want to go. But yeah, this is definitely making me want to go even more. So yeah. Here I'm adding just the final touches to the face of the dog, and this is the final product with our original face and our tulips. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more, be sure to hit the subscribe button and come check us out at Honeybee Designs on Instagram.